So what can you say can you list 5 principles of building an effective marriage?
Wow, that's a powerful question. Very powerful. I can tell you what they are. Number one, in God's agenda for marriage, the person that gets married is a man who fears God. May not be perfect, but they're seeking God. So the first principle is that everybody that wants to succeed in marriage, they have to have a heart for God. They have to, if they don't have, they have to aspire to be the kind of person that can be married by another person. Do you know that by ourselves, without external help, we're difficult? You argue with yourself, you angry with yourself. When you marry, a second person involved, you can't make things difficult for them. Humble yourself. Make life easy. Don't be the kind of person that people are tiptoeing in the house. When you are coming back, when the children hear the sound of the footsteps, they scatter.
That's number one.
So that's number one. Number two
What
is that that's the word.
What's the key of that number one?
The key is that the more Christ-like you're becoming, the more you qualify to marry. Christ-likeness, yes. Number two is that you shouldn't marry without preparation. Preparation. Look, as you service your car, so you should service your life. As you prepare somebody to be a doctor, so you prepare to become married. Because marriage is as important in school as the school of medicine. As you go to school of pharmacy, so you should go to school of marriage. School of engineering, school of marriage. Marriage is a school. It's an institution. That's number two.
How can someone go to that institution?
That's one of the roles of the church. The church should be God's agency on earth to prepare people for life, including marriage. Every church should have a school of marriage, not giving counseling to people that are getting married. They should have a school of marriage that prepares you for marriage before you even start to get married. Not this complaining, they've already chosen dates and they're telling us. Why did they choose dates? What did we teach them? You are wrong. You didn't teach them. That's why they chose dates. They don't know anything. You teach them. I went to a university. Nobody applies to graduate before time. But in church, people apply to marry before time. Because they don't teach. In university, from the day you step in, they have a school, a system of education. You can't just say in year 3, I'm applying, I want to graduate before year 5. There's something like that. The policy is clear. So that's number 2. Number 3, principles for effective marriage is that you have to learn to talk. If you want to be happy in marriage, go to school of vocalization. The church also teach that. They're not teaching. Can I say something to you? He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. He that does not offend in words, the same is a perfect man. When you marry, you learn to bite your tongue. You want to say something, because that thing you want to say, when you say it, the next 3 days your house is on fire. You can't call your wife and be talking anyhow as if she's your maid. You can't raise your voice against your wife or vice versa. You can't be shouting at your spouse. They're not your maid, they're not your houseboy. That's your partner. So when you're angry, you go to shower, take a shower, calm down. Come and sit down. Yes. I was talking to a wonderful woman of God. She said her husband, they had, what was it? Something they bought in the house that was spoiled. They only bought it through his aides. And when she saw it, she said, it's for my house. How can my aides be buying things for me, my husband's aides? So she was not happy. She was going to enter the room. She was telling me, going to enter the room to tell the husband, but the Holy Spirit forced her. And instead of saying, why? He said, I came to thank you for the thing you bought. Powerful. She's very sensitive to God. So number 3, learn how to talk. Another essential of a good marriage, if you ask me, yes, 5. Another one is, I call it, there's so many, but I'll give you 5. Family meetings.
Family meetings.
Yes. Means that when you marry, have regular meetings, scheduled meetings with your spouse. Not when there is trouble. Just maybe once a week, once in 2 months, just come, say, you go out to eat. Can even call it dating. I encourage husband and wife to date. I don't encourage single people to date. But let's leave that. So I say, take your wife on a date. I say, honey, as you're eating, he said, is there anything I'm doing you don't like? Please tell me now we're eating, not when you're angry. Vice versa. Hey, the other day, this. I didn't know. You talk. You share. I call it family meeting. Since my family was young, I have meetings with my children and my wife. We meet. It's not a perfect family, but family meeting. Okay? The other essential of marriage, what I've mentioned in passage, because you said 5, I gave so many, is that If marriage that work, the husband and wife must actually spend quality time with each other. They must learn the several levels of communication. They must schedule retreats together, vacation together, where they're spending quality time, making investments in each other. They actually must deliberately, intentionally make each other best friend. Let me explain. My wife is my best friend, but it's not automatic. It's intentional. I choose to make her my best friend. How do you make somebody your best friend? It's the way you spend time with the person, what you think about the person. If my wife offends me or has offended me, I don't think about it. It's not important. I think about the best times we've had, the good times we've had. Her picture is my DP. Even if I use my picture after when I go back to her picture. Now, she's my best friend because I share my life with her. I call her every day. The other day we were doing something and she said, "Oh, don't call me again." She was not happy. I wrote her, "Why?" I said, "Do you want me to die? I must call you every day. You're my wife. You're my best friend." She started laughing. She's my best friend. It's a choice. If you think about somebody so often, they'll become your best friend. People flirt or commit adultery or have affair because they're thinking about the wrong person. Yes, it's a law. What you think about, you become. What you think about, you act upon. If you think about your wife or your spouse, your husband, you start and focus on the positive, good things. You have good feelings towards that person. Don't think about their weaknesses. Think about their strength. How a blessing that they are. So that's 5. Because number 4 is have meetings, go out. Number 5, I said, when I said number 5, I said that I do not encourage single people to date. Date your spouse. Not meetings. I said number 4 is having meetings. Number 5 is go out with your best friend, with your spouse. In other words, schedule regular times of outing where you relax, where you go out with the person, enjoy that. If you have children, hire people to look after your children if they're young. If they're old enough, tell them, lock the door, don't come out. Daddy and mommy are out. If there's a problem, call us. I can give so many more.
Okay.
Pillars of it, or what they call building an effective marriage. Yes. And don't forget, I don't know if I mentioned it as an entity, communication. Not just talking right. I'm saying effective communication. No marriage can be effective without effective communication. Not just the way you talk, but how you talk and when you talk and the way you, and all this. Just communication. You have to talk effectively. The other thing that's important about marriage is money. We don't talk about money. Let me just do 2 more. You want to 5? Let's make it 7. Money, finances. Somebody made a comment implying that romance needs to be funded. That's what they use for money. I can't remember, but I wrote it down. But basically, you have to remember that it is very difficult and hard to have romance without money. You need money, not a lot of money, but you need some chicken, some food, some stuff. So I would say that money, the way you handle money as a family, money is one of the biggest reasons people fight in marriage. Money. And men are very aggressive when they don't have. And that's when they say, "We just bought oil last week. What happened to it?" But if they have money, they say, "Oh, you want oil? So buy more." Yes. So you have to train yourself not to be aggressive because you don't have money. Because if you don't train yourself, you're going to be extremely aggressive when you don't have money. Yes, it's natural. You're just trying to. So what you do is that don't let it control the atmosphere of your home. Relax. Plan. Discuss money. Grow in money. A husband and wife should have a joint account, but it's not automatic. It's by maturity. You can't just marry. Somebody is going to blow all the money. Somebody is going to be coming back on the road and branch and use all the money and buy one item because of lack of maturity and lack of control. So you grow into it. You don't assume you are mature enough to take all your resources and put it together. Because if you are putting it together and have equal access, somebody is going to make one decision. So when people are working together, they have to have some ground rules. Nobody makes a certain level of purchase without communication and approval from each other. Those are all things about money. The final thing I'll say, because of time, I talked about money, is sex, intimacy. There's no marriage that can succeed without sex. Impossible. Sex is God's idea. It's not a dating game. There's a way you grow up. You think, but sex is not automatic. It's learned. You have to read and study and go to school to learn. You can't have Papa Bomboy and Ma Bomboy and succeed in marriage. If there's no romance, that marriage is dead. Part of romance is intimacy in the bedroom. You have to live your life in a way that is as if you have met your spouse for the very first time every time you come together. If you get used to it, you're gone. There are rules of engagement. Part of those rules, of course, the Bible is a decent book. There's a way it talks about these things. It doesn't just call it anyhow, use vulgar language. No. It says every man should drink water of their own cistern. It's talking about relationship, intimacy in the bedroom. Nobody takes fire in his bosom and his feet not be burned. Or no, and his hand not be burned. Nobody walks upon hot coals and the feet not be burned. It's talking about passion. Passion. Don't provoke a woman's passion without a plan. You see the girls in the University of Lagos and some of these places, men just go there and be behaving anyhow. They don't understand the passion of a woman. A woman is by herself, believe her. If you provoke her, she can consume you. So here is the point. When it comes to bedroom and intimacy, is learned behavior must be honored, respected. There are processes. It has to be prepared for. You have to put value on it. Look, it is one of the things you do in marriage. Your marriage is dead. If it's not something you plan for, enjoy, look forward to, you're just casual about intimacy in the bedroom, something is terribly wrong with your marriage. I cannot guarantee that it will make it. Because one of the things God used to oil your marriage is that intimacy. Because there are many reasons, and I'll pause. For a woman to give of her body to a man, it's not that easy. Ask any woman.
But is this inheritance?
No. Yeah, thinking it is. What makes you think? Because of prostitution? Do you know that prostitutes in VI, they don't come back during the day, they come back at night. They come out at night. In VI, I worked in there for years. They don't come by 12 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. They come by 6, 7. Because they're saying that decent men have gone home. It's people that are evil are still in the office. Let them come. We're all together. Yes. It's not that easy. Have you ever met a prostitute? Have you ever had a conversation? I have met prostitutes. I have discipled, pastored prostitutes. I have met women that said, I gave my body because I lacked money to look after family. I met a woman in South Africa. She said to me, I was a virgin. I was violated, raped. And I said, if God cannot protect me, why should I? I threw caution to the winds. Yes. From virgin to prostitution. From virginity. Yes. She said, if God couldn't protect I had worked with many, not one. I used to work with them. They told me stories. Those are decent people that life threw a curveball. So don't think it's easy for a woman to give up her body. It's not that easy. It's never without a cause.
Okay, now you mentioned I asked for 5, you gave me 7.